To my Christian sisters, this message is for you. And to all my friends, if you're not a Christian, this message may not be for you. But this is for my Christian sisters. Most specifically, my sisters in Christ. My Christian my Christian girls that are trying to do the right thing in the eyes of God. I want to speak to you today. I want to tell you something, Christian women. I want to tell you that man of God, that God has been prepping and been delivering, he's somewhere out there for you. You don't have to go and find him. You just need to prepare yourself. Well, what do you mean, Jefton? Well, you have to start consecrating yourself. What does consecration mean? Well, consecrating is surrendering yourself unto the Lord in prayer and through the reading of your word. A lot of times through the speaking of tongues, letting God know that this thing is real for you. It's going to take some discipline, ladies, in waiting for that man of God. You cannot just go from guy to guy and think that you are not creating soul ties within your spirit. You cannot go from date to date thinking that the man of God of your the man of your dreams is just going to randomly come into your DMs or randomly come into your life at a bar or at a club. Guess what? Men of God don't go to bars and go to clubs. So you're really not going to meet them there to begin with. But women, what I have been seeing is you go from all of these different dates, and men, I'm here to expose you, especially the ones who know better. The men who prey on vulnerable women. Yes, I'm here to expose a lot of that because there are such vulnerable women out there who really are good women at heart. They may be a little ditzy. They may be a little, they may not have all the street smarts, but they still are smart individuals, and they're still women of God with souls at the end of the day. And I've just grown tired of seeing women getting done in by manipulative dudes because they're caught up in what they think is love when really it's just lust. Hear me out, women. Hear me out. Through consecration, through discipline, and through patience, God is going to send that man of God into your life. Hear me out. Listen. Patience, discipline, consecration. In no particular order, but those three things. Consecration, discipline, and patience. Well, why do you say discipline, Jefton? Well, discipline comes in the form of making sure you're not just going from date to date, letting guys use and abuse you. Come on, grown-ups, you know what I'm talking about. Discipline comes from being a woman of God, being a modest woman, being the woman that God has called you to be, which means waiting till marriage to have sex. Right? That's where the discipline comes in. The discipline in knowing your limitations. The discipline in knowing how weak you really are. That's the issue with a lot of, from what I'm seeing, that's the issue with a lot of women today. They think that they are stronger than what they really are when it comes to certain disciplines in their life. And this is for my Christian women. Hear me out. Listen, I always like to preface my messages by saying this is for the Christians here. And some of you folks that aren't Christians, hopefully you can receive. But if you don't have a Christian worldview, this really ain't for you. Because if you're not a Christian, you do what you want to do. Like, you don't need discipline, you don't need patience, you don't need any of that. Because at the end of the day, really, people in the world don't have a understanding of love to begin with if you don't have God in your heart. So for my Christians, This message is for you, my Christian women. I'm trying to save you the time. See, the way God does things, his timing is not our timing. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. When you choose to try to marry the secular way, it may take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. You may not ever get married. You just may be with that person for the rest of your life thinking that one day he'll propose. That's the secular way. But oftentimes, from what I've seen in my personal experience, when you choose to do it the God way, God has a way of expediting that relationship and making things move a little faster. Courtney and I married after like a year. A lot of my friends married after like a year or two. Like, there is no reason why you shouldn't be married with the love of your life after so long. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years of you dating with still no proposal. And some men are so manipulative. Some men are so conniving. They'll propose to you after a year or 2, 3, 4, 5 years or whatever. And they'll string you along. They'll string you along for what they can get from you, which most men only need one thing, right? And so they'll string you along in hopes that one day you'll just forget about it and stop asking. And then when they've gotten all that they could get from you, guess what they do? They don't tolerate it anymore and they leave. They always find an excuse to leave that relationship. Women, Christian women of God, you don't have to go out there and find that guy. God is going to prepare him to find you. He is going to send someone your way. But make sure that you are in a prepared state. Make sure that you have done all that you can do to prepare yourself through consecrating, through discipline, and through patience. Make sure that you have done everything in your power so that God could send the one that you've been wanting your whole life. And guess what? A lot of people seem to think that God doesn't hear our prayers and doesn't give us our preferences. Guess what? If you like tall, dark, and handsome, he'll send you one. God is not in the business of making our lives miserable. God is not in the business of, trying to be mean to us. If that's your preference, make it known. Make your preferences be made known unto God. Tell him what you want. But that's only done through consecration. Letting your preferences be made known. Guess what else, women? You have to discipline yourself and not, practice celibacy. Practice celibacy. Practice not being with someone for a extended period of time. Try to see how long you can go until marriage. I say try to see because the flesh is weak. And I know some of you that may be listening to this message may disregard this. But try to see it. Just try. Try to go a month. Try to go 2 months. Try to go 1 year. Try to go 5 years like I did. The important part is it's the trying. Men see that effort. Men see that difference in you. That men don't want a woman that's been, through every person in y'all area. Men don't like women like that. For the women that they want to marry. They want a woman that is different. They want a woman that has not gone through. They want a woman that they would be able to feel confident in bringing home to their parents. Consecration, discipline, and patience. Be as patient as you can be, women of God. I promise you, you will get that one. Practice these 3 things and see won't God pour out every blessing from heaven in your life. He will exceed your expectations, give you your preferences, and allow you to experience the love that you deserve. Try it today.